All right. So we go with you until 1 o'clock. Um, we go with you until 1 o'clock. Kerry, how you do? Um, I I'm trying to work through it. You see, in Jamaica, an 18-year-old student in Smoky Vale in St. Andrew. It's very, very disheartening to see the impact of violence on families and communities in Jamaica. We must come together to support those affected and work towards creating safer communities. Not much information on the mass shooting. Um, I understand 5 persons, um, including a child. The information on that is coming out. The U.S. travel advisory for Jamaica has sparked concern also among tourism stakeholders who are urging the government to address safety concerns. One other thing I want you to understand is that when violence goes up in the country, it affects the tourism product. Um, and so safety, if we're going to talk about growing the economy, tourism uh, is critical in driving economic growth. And therefore, these recent spate of shootings are very concerning. I don't think those who are involved in these understand the economic implications for Jamaica. And therefore, we urge the police force and the government to continue their drive to bring down violent crimes in Jamaica. Yeah, we don't want to get back to a place in our country where we see these multiple incidents of of murders or unaliving. Of course, the government is on a drive to spur economic growth. They want to end what is called absolute poverty in Jamaica. Absolute poverty. And we need to define what that is. But that's what the government wants to do. Step in the right direction. We encourage the government to prioritize initiatives that benefit all Jamaicans and, of course, promote economic growth and development. And then the whole matter of constitutional reform is something that I want to spend a little time on going forward to address and to explain. The process of constitutional reform has gotten off to a bumpy start, with concern raised about the proposed changes. We hope that the government will engage in an open and transparent dialogue with all stakeholders to ensure that any changes to the Constitution are in the best interests of Jamaica. But let me play for you something to set the agenda for this morning discussions. Listen carefully, okay? Listen carefully.
Began the work of constitutional reform. We did
Now,
so.
I want you to note that the former minister responsible for constitutional reform was Marlene Malahu Fort. She's no longer the minister, but the government created a ministry. And you know, listeners, we must hold government accountable, you know. Taxpayers' money is involved in this. This tinkering and, you know, going around and the politicizing of it is costing the taxpayers, you know. I want you to understand that, you know, that taxpayers are paying for this, you know. And while Mr. Golding and Holness and the Jamaica Labour Party and the People's National Party determine whether they'll meet or whether they'll not meet, Jamaicans are paying for this, you know. Listen to Marlene, former minister in the government. Listen to her. Listen to her.
On the understanding that becoming a republic was a shared goal between the governing.
Okay, so first thing you need to understand is that they're working on Jamaica becoming a republic. But that cannot be done without the cooperation of both parties. The government spent the last term paying a minister, paying staff, having meetings across Jamaica. Expensive stuff, you know. And where are we this morning as far as this constitutional reform process is concerned? Are we going to go through another 5 years of cost upon the taxpayers? Huh? People have, Jamaica have other problems, you know. Right? Listen to her.
And the opposition parties in the parliament.
Yeah. So she's saying that the process requires the support of the opposition in the parliament. All right?
And we have spent a lot of time and a lot of resources.
We have spent a lot of time. We have spent a lot of time and a lot of money. Whose money is being spent? Wasting time. And this is why I'm saying to the people of Jamaica, you have to be more involved. Because while you argue about bad roads and hospitals and more pay and all of that, we are wasting money and we don't have it. It's either we're going to go forward with this constitutional reform process or we're going we just stay where we're there. Because we can't waste any more money. So what are you saying? PNP, if you do everything that the JLP said? Well, if you stay tuned, you'll hear exactly what I'm saying. NCB loading. If you stay tuned, you'll hear exactly what I'm saying. And what I'm really saying is that we can't afford it. We can't afford to waste any more money on this process. The minister said it has cost a lot of resources. In other words, the government have to find the money to do it.
Investing in ensuring that our Jamaican identity can be brought to the fore, that we can have a Jamaican head of state.
So we want to have a Jamaican head of state. So this constitutional reform process that we are on is so that the head of state of Jamaica can be a Jamaican. All right?
Who represents our Jamaicanness,
Courtney
who
Butler,
represents who
morning.
we are as a people. And what do you know? The leader of the opposition has stood in the way of...
Now, this is what I don't understand. The leader of the opposition has stood in the way of us becoming a republic, of us having a head of state, and of us moving the agenda of constitutional reform forward. And me say so. I am putting the pieces together because I want to go to that letter that Holness wrote to Golding. Tap the screen, please. Let's see if we can keep this live active so that we can go on. If you don't tap the screen and share it, then it becomes inactive. All right, so keep tapping. I know you want to listen, but tap. The leader of the opposition have stood in the way. How? Why is Mr. Golding in the way of constitutional reform? So when Mr. Golding is declining a meeting with the Prime Minister, the former minister is saying, sir, that you have stood in the way. And I would want the government to explain to the people of Jamaica how has Mark Golding stood in the way? Is it that Mr. Golding does not want Jamaica to become a republic? Is it that Mr. Golding does not want us to have a head of state? How has he stood in the way? Let's listen a little bit more to what Marlene is saying.
The change. And I say that we must take sleep and mark death because Mark Golding cannot be trusted.
There you have it. Take sleep, mark death. Because Golding, according to Mrs. Malahoo Fort, who is asking for a meeting directly with the Prime Minister, the former minister is saying that he is not a man to be trusted on this issue. So why would the Prime Minister meet with him? You guys, I wonder if you are understanding what is at play here, or you are. I wonder if you are understanding what is at play here. Yeah, he is standing in the way. I'm not saying that he is. Marlene Malahoo Fort is saying that Golding is standing in the way of constitutional reform, and as a result of that, Jamaica spent millions of dollars on this process, and we haven't reached anywhere. And here we have the first move that the government has made. The first move. The first move the government makes in this new term is to extend to Mr. Golding an invitation to meet with the Justice Minister. And again, Mr. Golding is saying no. Is it true that Mr. Golding is standing in the way? And what it is that Jamaica is going to do to clear the path so that we can move ahead with constitutional reform? I'm asking questions based on what I'm hearing coming out of the government. It is an interesting discussion. Let me I enjoy your program as a young man. See, who is the young man? CEO Rush, you? You are the young man, or me? You are the young man?
Sleep and mark death because Mark Golding cannot be trusted.
What does she mean by that? What does Marlene Malahoo Fort means when she say Mark Golding cannot be trusted? I'm going to play for you that the Prime Minister himself says Mark Golding is a liar. I mean, this is it. Listen, we have to pause, Jamaica. We have to pause because we mustn't waste no more money on this. And I expect the government to show leadership on this matter and come clean to the people of Jamaica and tell us what is happening. How is Golden standing in the way? What has he done? Is it that you do not trust him? Is it that Mark Golding does not want us to become a republic in? Mark Golding does not want us to have our own head of state? Is that the case? We can't waste 5 more years on this, because in Mark Golding's letter to the Prime Minister, he has indicated that the government does not have a 2/3 majority in Parliament. So guess what? You better talk to me. I don't understand what is happening here.
He cannot be trusted. His words cannot be trusted.
His words cannot be trusted. So how are we going to move forward? His words cannot be trusted.
He wrote to Prime Minister Holness, asking him to move on with the change of Jamaica becoming a republic. And because he wanted it his way, he took the highway and refused to cooperate.
Mark Golding wrote to the Prime Minister, asking him to proceed. And because he didn't listen to her, listen to what she said. I don't want to misquote her.
Did it his way, he took the highway. He wrote to Prime Minister Holness.
He wrote to Prime Minister Holness,
asking him to move on with the change of Jamaica.
Asking him to move on with the change of Jamaica.
Becoming a republic.
Becoming a republic.
And because he wanted it his way.
And because he wanted it his way.
He took the highway.
He took the highway.
And refused to cooperate.
And refused to cooperate.
Prime Minister Holness and us have ensured that we have not politicized the reform of Jamaica's constitution, because we recognize that this work requires collaboration. The collaboration. It requires collaboration. And she says that they have not politicized it because it requires collaboration. Yes? Between government and opposition. Between the government and the opposition. The approval of the people. And the approval of the people, which means a referendum. In other words, the people will be asked eventually to make a decision based on the agreement of the two political parties. It may have to go to what is called a referendum. He has ensured that we have stalled in the process. He has stalled the process. Stall is either Marlene Malahoo Fort is being mischievous, or Mark Golding have some questions to answer. Why are you stalling the process? And I don't know if it is because he has a loyalty that he cannot get rid of. But what? No, listen there. Listen that. She is arguing. She's questioning whether Golding's stalling of the process is because of his allegiance to another country. What is this, Jamaica? Are you listening? Are you understanding what is happening here? Are you no business? I find it incredulous. I find this amazing. And all I can say is poor Jamaica. Poor Jamaica. We need lead, you know. I hope this government is not a, I hope this government is listen, government. We need strong leadership here in Jamaica, you know. Well, I hope, let me not even go there, so right now.
What I know for sure is that he cannot be trusted. So all he's telling you about the reforms that he will bring, he cannot be trusted.
Marlene Malahou says all she know. Don't, and here is why this is important. She is the lead on the matters of constitutional reform. This is the minister. This is the minister standing in Sam Sharp Square before thousands of Jamaicans. She must know what she's saying. She must understand the process. She must know why she's saying that as far as constitutional reform is concerned, Mark is not into it. He has stalled the process. He wrote to the Prime Minister. Then because he never had his own way,
to lead the process, and we must send him a message that we do not trust him to lead.
We must send him a message that we do not trust him to lead the process of constitutional reform. If we are going to get constitutional reform in Jamaica, the issue of trust must be dealt with. If we are going to proceed with constitutional reform in this country, the issue of the leader of the opposition must be dealt with. The government don't trust him. That is what she's saying here. They don't trust him. Which probably is why Holness don't want to meet with him. Him send him to meet with Delroy Chuck. This lady was the former minister responsible for the constitutional reform, and she is telling Jamaica that she couldn't move forward because of Mr. Golding. Mr. Golding, she said, stood in it. Now, me say so, comrades, don't come at me. I know me say so. That Mr. Golding stood in the way. So what is the Prime Minister to meet with him about? What is the Prime Minister to meet with Mr. Golding about?
The process of Jamaica becoming a republic, and we are not going to stand by and have our people and our Jamaicanness take second place to any other nationality. We are not British, we are Jamaicans, and we want a head of state that is Jamaican, that represents who we are, and he is standing in the way of that process.
My God, hear that. He is standing in the way of Jamaica becoming a republic. Is it true? Is it true, Mr. Golding, that you are standing in the way of Jamaica becoming a republic? That's what the Minister of Constitutional Affairs, former Minister Marlene Malahou Ford, says. That the reason why we are where we are is because of Mark Golding. Is it true? Because that's very, very concerning. Very, very concerning. Let me tell you something. I have I have much more to say on this, and I have much more to play for you. If you would still. Good morning, sir. Morning. Morning, sir. Good morning, sir. Good back. He doesn't know he's there.
My Labour Party family, this election, like every other election,
Right. All right, so let me mute him and go there. So no, listen to this exchange.
And with that cloud hanging over your head,
the leader of the opposition is a liar.
You hear that? Now we're moving from the constitutional minister to the prime minister. The prime minister calling the leader of opposition a liar and a man cannot be trusted. It appears as if this is an all of government opinion. I just played for you the Minister of Constitutional Affairs. And here we come now to the Prime Minister.
have said that you have the Ponzi scheme holding and you got it out, while others suffered losses. You had money
Hold on.
in Cash Plus, another Ponzi scheme where people lost lots of money. You got it out. And of course, you had money in SSL. That Hussein Bey. And why do you think the people of Jamaica to have be in charge of the governance of the country for a third term with that track record and with that cloud hanging over your head?
The leader of the opposition is a liar and cannot be trusted. I lost money.
I don't know why this statement was not picked up on, and either the Prime Minister asked to provide further details, but it is a most damning comment coming from a Prime Minister. Remember, we're going to the letter, It's the letter we're going to, but we're just providing the context. In preaching, they call it the historical context. You have to transition into the main point. We're providing the context, and we went to Sam Sharp Square. We told you what Marlene said, and here we now we're at the leadership debate. Because remember, the government wants to move the process of constitutional reform forward. But there is a big problem. And the previous minister is telling us that it was stalled because of Golding. And she went as far as to say he's not a man that the government trusts. But the Prime Minister, willing to advance the process, writes to him and invites him to meet with the Justice Minister, who replaces Malahu Fort. And the leader of the opposition don't write back to the Prime Minister directly. he sends the letter to the media. And G2K this morning, we'll get to what G2K is saying. Well, G2K is saying that the opposition leader continues to disrespect the prime minister. Now, do you see that as a disrespect? Do you see that as a disrespect that a prime minister writes to a leader of opposition, invites him to a meeting with his minister? In other words, let me tell you this. In terms of protocol, a designate is the person. So if the prime minister designates Chuck to meet with Golden, Golden is by virtue of the meeting with the prime minister. It's just that the prime minister is not there in person. But a designate is representing the person who you are, you know, it's like God sent Jesus. Jesus is God. So when God sent Jesus to die, Jesus is God's designate. So who is it that they are dealing with? Is God. So when you deal with Chuck, you're dealing with the prime minister. Because Mr. Chuck is not himself. Chuck did not initiate the meeting. The meeting is with the prime minister on behalf of the prime minister. One problem with Jamaica, you know, is that anyway, let me not criticize our people. they don't think. I want you to listen again to this, and because I think it's why we are where we are. It is why we are where we are, because if you listen back to the debate, the leadership debate, you'll realize that there's no question that the relationship between Golden and Holness is strained. Very strained, as a matter of fact. And it doesn't appear that Mr. Holness cares to meet with Mr. Golden. Well, at this point. But he's prime minister. And so he must act on behalf of the people. And therefore, as a means of doing his national responsibility, he designates a minister to meet with Mr. Golden. And I think that's quite appropriate. As I am explaining, Chuck would be his representative, because Chuck would have to report back to him on the meeting.
The leader of the opposition is a liar and cannot be trusted.
Listen to that. It's one thing for it to come from a minister in the government, which I think it's Jamaica is suffering because it does not have good media. The things that we discuss in media are not the things that are of premier importance. This here requires some explanation. Jamaica is suffering because media and music them play. Most of what we have for media is, you know, just infomercials and a quest to make money. Move and go with uno just bias after Mark and uno John to pick me. Right? He's not serving the people well. All right. A prime minister standing up in a debate and referring to a leader of opposition as a liar is not something that must be swept under the carpet. Because these are the two men that you expect must go sit down face to face and meet. Did you hear what Mr. Golden say of Mr. Holness? Why Mr. Holness referred to him as a man that cannot be trusted? I can't play it. Well, I'm not playing it because the people said, don't play it, neighbor, because it makes us too sad. Did you hear what Mr. Golding said of Mr. Holness? Did you hear it? Huh?
Collapsed. In fact, I would say the only person
Listen to it.
Bolt has not been able to catch up with is you.
The only person that Bolt has not been able to catch up with is you. And the audience laughed. I must play it. So I don't play it. Don't play it. Listen to it.
And strike down the act and eliminate the offense for which you are being investigated. Have said that you had money in the Ponzi scheme Olint and you got it out, while others suffered losses. You had money in Cash Plus, another Ponzi scheme where people lost lots of money, you got it out. And of course, you had money in SSL and you were able to withdraw your money before it collapsed. In fact, I would say the only person that Usain Bolt has not been able to catch up with is you.
The people in the audience laughed at that moment. Cut Mr. Holness to his bones, I can tell you. Tap the screen, please. Share the live. Tap the screen and help us to achieve our live goals. And we have to close at 12. Tap the screen, guys, please. Please tap the screen. Oh my God.
This is all very exciting.
I'm happy.
And I want to ask you, how do you think and why do you think the people of Jamaica should trust you to have be in charge of the governance of the country for a third term with that track record and with that cloud hanging over your head?
The leader of the opposition is a liar and cannot be trusted.
There you have it. In a national debate, the leader of the opposition is a liar, cannot be trusted. Now, if I say so, what basis do I have to say something like that? If you say it, you're a mere blogger. But the leader, the Prime Minister calls the leader of the opposition a liar.
I lost money in Cash Flow.
That's not important. Let's not play that. Let's play this.
Yes. Mr. Golding has an opportunity to respond.
The Prime Minister has no interest in bipartisanship. He has strong dictatorial tendencies and really would prefer not to consult with the opposition at all if he didn't have to. And I say that based on my experience with him over the last 5 years. He talks about he didn't want to tinker with the Constitution. Then why did he seek to amend the Constitution as a one-off, tabling the bill and seeking to pass it on the same day to extend the DPP's tenure beyond what was constitutionally allowed? That was tinkering, Prime Minister, so come on. And in terms of Integrity Commission reports, my declarations have been certified every year as being proper. Yours have not, because you are under investigation for illicit enrichment.
Mr. Golding. Our follow-up question now, Dion Jackson has indicated she'd like to use the first of her follow-up questions.
On the same issue of the DPP's appointment, Principal Dr. Holness doesn't require constitutional amendments, though. And if it is that you were committed to the principle of bipartisanship, why would you have rejected such strongly worded opposition coming from the opposition leader?
End of the day, this matter was taken to the court, and the courts decided, and the DPP was of the opposition. In my own, very clear that the Constitution.
You not implement this, but you disregarded it.
There are parliamentary review of sensitive positions, and I want to be also very clear that the constitutional reform process that we have put in place would take into consideration all of these proposals that were made. We cannot tinker with the Constitution, doing a little thing here and a little thing there, and therefore we decided to put it in a comprehensive process, again, which the opposition has thwarted. But since I have some time, let me also address some other issues.
Well, what I wanted to play for you there is where he says that the opposition has thwarted the constitutional amendments that were brought to the parliament. It is very interesting, and therefore here we are this morning with the impasse deepening between the government and the opposition on the whole matter of constitutional reform. G2K, the youth affiliate of the Jamaica Labour Party, they have criticized Golding's approach, calling it arrogant, entitled, and immature. They argue that Golding's refusal to meet with Chuck demonstrates his unwillingness to cooperate on an issue of national importance. Yeah, so G2K has jumped in to say Golding is arrogant. He's behaving like he's entitled, and he's immature. I tell you the truth, it's fantastic. I wonder if G2K
Hi. Boy, I tell you something. This is all very exciting.
I wonder if G2K is coming to talk to me. Anyway, let me hear from you. Let me hear from you. Who is online that wants to come up? Who is online? Let me see who's online that wants to come up. Oh my goodness, we are almost, time is going by so quickly. Who is online that wants to come up? Or if not, I'll just continue. Run with.
I don't know. I don't know if my background I go affect anything here because my grandma is right here with me. But I've been following the conversation, and based on what I've heard so far, is that there's a meeting set with the opposition and Delroy Chuck, and what happened as a result of that.
There's a meeting set, sir?
I don't know. I'm asking.
No,
I'm trying to follow what the discussion is about.
No, man. The Prime Minister wrote to Mr. Golding.
Okay.
Hold on there for me, sir. Barry Don?
Yes, sir.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. How you doing? All right, yeah. Yeah, big up everybody on the panel. Something I want to ask you real quick, right? Why these people running with the initiative are talking about water gun? Is water gun an imitation firearm? Water gun is a toy. So why these people running around with the initiative talking about police or government will lock you up for your water gun? Them know better, you know. So I don't know why they run up and down with the thing. Water gun is not an imitation firearm. It's a toy. It's a water gun. That's what it is. Imitation firearm is something totally different. So why these people running all up and down over social media talking about police or lock up people picking for water gun? But can't understand them people, you know, brother. And try to make things better than make things worse, you know. And the people who make Jamaica worse, you know, you think of the Prime Minister? Not the Prime Minister. The Prime Minister try doing best. And if him come up with something and you don't like it, but you have to approach it the right way. You don't go around spending for Zoom and talking about water gun. Water gun is not an imitation firearm. And the next thing they're talking about, recording artists that use gun in them video, right? The imitation gun that they use in the video is something where you go and get a permit for.
Barry, we try to be a little bit more focused here, though, you see, sir. And I'm going to have to check into those things that you have raised.
Okay, okay.
Prepare to discuss it at some other time.
But yeah. And when you're discussing it, please tag me, okay? I appreciate the time, all right?
No problem.
All right, bless you.
Okay. Yeah. Back to you, Impact.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir. So you have not been following the story?
No, in fact, I just got up after work. I came from work early this morning, went to bed, and I'm getting up.
Hold on for me, please. All right. Impact. Hello.
I'm here.
Yes, sir. So the whole matter is coming out of a letter written to the. Are you following me, sir?
Yeah, man, I'm hearing.
Yeah. No, but I'm hearing someone in the background. That is distracting.
All right. So, Miriam, explain it. I'll go in the comment.
Okay. Morning. Spooky, Miss Attitude. Hello.
Don't do that.
Well, ma'am, my dear ma'am, you would have never been brought up if you never sent a request. So you mustn't do that, all right? Great. Good morning, Lush. Good morning. Morning. Hello. 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 Lush. Morning. Anyway. All right. Don't wrong Mark. Don't go or sin. Just nowhere. This man believe him a God. Okay, well, that is what. Any word on the latest report on investigation by the IC that they sent to Parliament? No word on that. No word on that. All right. So the fact of the matter is that the relationship between the Prime Minister and the leader of opposition is no doubt strained. And whilst it is difficult.
Good afternoon, Karen.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Yeah, I just see a request from you.
Well, I don't know. Maybe one of the moderators did.
Yeah, it's just counting down.
How are you doing?
Not too bad. How about yourself?
Well, it's even better hearing from you. How are you?
About to start getting ready for going to the dentist. Not too bad.
Oh, that's good. Know that you are here. What you want to talk about?
Well, neighbor, me hear you mention something earlier. Because me catch you later about Mark wanting to meet with the PM. I wouldn't advise him because Mark's a lie. I'm a normal prime minister and I want him to tell a lie on him. You understand? So that's the reason why meet with him. Probably not right now anyway. Seeing that we just passed the election and all of the commotion and everything. You understand? Yeah, him just know so he must send somebody to represent him, which is Chuck. And we agree on that.
Yeah, I agree too, ma'am. I think that and the thing I was explaining to the listeners, ma'am, is that a designate.
Mark, wait to the back of warm up, man.
Wait to what bottom warm up? What are you talking about? What are you talking about?
You think I want to say about
No, I wasn't. You thought about it. I wasn't.
All right, boy, I tell you. Tough this morning. Yes. Fully?
Neighbor, yeah.
Yeah, I'm saying to you, ma'am, that when a designate is chosen, that the designate actually represents the person, the prime minister. So there's no separating of a designate from the original person.
Correct. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And Mark know too. Is that trap him I try setting out with everything with them have gone with since the election passed. You understand? It's a trap. But the prime minister is not buying to it.
The real issue here, though, you see, fully, is, as I have been discussing, the former Constitution Minister Marlene Malahou Ford clearly stated that Golding is holding back the process and that he cannot be trusted. And I find it absolutely incredulous, ma'am, that the Prime Minister could call Mr. Golding a liar on a debate stage and media in Jamaica don't pick it up. That's not a matter that we should sweep under the carpet at all. Because how are we going to move forward in this environment of mistrust? Can't happen. Anyway, run off to the dentist. Take care. Later.
Okay then, big up.
Yeah.
My connection, son, if it go in and out. Well, good evening, good morning.
Afternoon.
Yeah, well, I see that 12 o'clock. Yeah, so what in general, with the topic, right? Mark Golding, remember say it's Delroy Chuck is the man who is responsible for that portfolio. So that means he's a minister. And as far as my memories can serve, Delroy Chuck is a far more senior politician than Mark Golding. So I know that Delroy Chuck is far competent to deal with the matter. So if Delroy Chuck is a minister and is not like the portfolio fall on the prime minister, it's an actual ministry where Delroy Chuck deal with that specific area, which is the constitutional reform, which is constitutional and the justice. So if you talk to somebody, if Andrew only say okay, then make a bypass Delroy Chuck and go talk to Mark Golding, that means I say I need Delroy Chuck to do the job, and if the prime minister give Delroy Chuck a job, right? Whatever you have to say to the prime minister, right then and there you say to Delroy Chuck because he's the person who's responsible for that portfolio.
As a matter of fact, sir, I think Delroy Chuck could advise the prime minister on matters of constitution.
Exactly.
He's more knowledgeable about the constitution than the prime minister himself. Exactly. The prime minister is not a lawyer. Delroy Chuck is a lawyer.
Exactly. So he just and is that he might do law long before even Mark Golding.
Well, I don't know what I know is that Chuck is a recognized scholar in law, and I think he would be a better person to meet with on these matters, even than the prime minister himself.
So yeah, I mean, the point I want to make to the listeners, though, you see, sir,
is that a designate represents the original. There's no separating them. If you meet with Chuck, you're meeting with the Prime Minister. That's
you're perfectly right, because if you remember, in the previous Parliament cycle, a lot of things, a lot of places where Mark Golding should be, him send somebody there to represent him, right?
Yes. But there's a deeper issue here, you know, sir, is that there seemed to be an issue of relationship between Golding. Did you know, sir, that Mark Golding needs to look into himself, because he has not been very respectful of his Prime Minister, you know, sir.
I believe so too. I strongly believe that too.
And you know, right now, I think if you listen to the debate, which I have been listening to, playing some things of it,
yes. You're right.
Very condescending, and calling Andrew, you know, Andrew and all of that. They're the only person that you see you catch up with him.
Yes. That was a job. And I remember the Mark Golding is the person who lead the chart of this corruption thing about with Dan Jones and his name.
The Integrity Commission.
Yes, he's the one who lead the chart on that.
Very vocal about the Integrity Commission's inability to certify Holness financial declaration. And the issue has been led vociferously by Golding.
Yes.
You know, right. and therefore, but you know, sir, that aside, just on the principle of it, I think that the Prime Minister is quite correct in inviting Golding.
Yes, sure. Yes.
But then, sir, the former Minister of Constitutional Affairs is saying that Mr. Golding has stood in the way.
All right, you know why? One of the things.
Did you hear what happened?
Yes, man. And I think one of the reasons why even that party even come around, you know, because I think sometimes people have short remembrance, but really and truly, if you really listen, you understand, instead of the politics and all this, you understand what happened. When Mark Golding, when the constitutional reform started to, the committee started to sit, Mark Golding was well in supportive of it until he realized a section in the constitutional reform stating you can't run as a no more as a we call it oh my God, it slipped me. The England and Canada and those, what they call it, not the CARICOM, what they call it again? Oh my God, just slipped me.
I'm not sure what you're talking about.
No, all right. So remember you have a certain amount of countries where you can't actually run in our next country. What do you call it again?
The Commonwealth?
Yes. So in a part of the constitutional reform, that part, you cannot be no longer be any Commonwealth person but you run for the Prime Minister and stuff. So that part right there, when Mark Golding realized that was a part of it, that's when Mark Golding give out his shout and start to make noise about him don't like what the constitutional reform and all of these things.
The government in the election, both the Prime Minister asked Mr. Golding if he's a Jamaican.
Yes.
And the constitutional minister says that Golding has allegiance to another. No Jamaican don't know if Mr. Golding is a citizen, sir.
That is it. And that is another problem a lot of people have. And
why is that a question that is still coming up? I mean, because we have not been served by media in this country, you know, sir.
Because Mark Golding, the thing is, all right, the only media houses would have asked that question so far that I know of is nationwide, and them classify it as a labor rights station. So they now make themselves present for half of those questions asked, because guess what? Other media houses don't really care about it.
But the Prime Minister is asking it, sir. The government is asking it. And Jamaican people don't know.
Yeah, and it not come straight because he get so many opportunity to come straight and say, listen, this is it. when first him say him is a Jamaican, then him cross up and him change and him say, oh, him get to him father. Then him say, I forgot consult him father. Then him say, I'm going to renew it. Then him say, I'm going to renounce it. And then him say, renounce it. And nobody's going to prove more than him come with a birth paper and show a local place. That not going to work. So my God is not being straightforward with neither the Prime Minister nor nobody at all.
I don't think it is. I think it's a matter. I think it's a matter that Jamaicans deserve, sir. Deserve an answer to. In other words, sir, why is the Prime Minister raising it?
If you never know something.
Why is the Prime Minister raising it? Why is Marlene Malahoo Ford continuing to raise it?
Yes, because they know something.
And why is it that Jamaicans? Why is it that Jamaicans are not concrete in their minds that this is so? That the man has renounced his citizenship and he's a fully Jamaican. Yes. Where was he born? Where was he born? I mean, was he born here? Up to now, I don't know.
Him say bad, you see, but we don't know about that.
I don't know, sir, and I see the government still asking questions about it, so I am confused. The only person can clear this
is him. Is him. And I think that is another problem. And to be honest, that's another thing that I think why they lose the election the last time, because he's not being straightforward and he's not being authentic.
Let me tell you something, you see. Let me tell you something, you see, sir. And I'm going to be honest with you. Jamaica full of hypocrisy, you know.
Yes.
It's almost as if, sir, once something affects our politics, we don't want to speak the truth about it.
Yes.
You understand me? And we need to get rid of that. You know, so you see this constitutional matter, it has cost Jamaicans millions of dollars, you know.
I know that. Everything.
And you know, sir, the minister said it, you know, that we have spent a lot of money on it. And we know they know where we did get, you know, sir.
That is exactly because
we want to fix in Jamaica. We can't spend 5 more years with this, sir. We need to move it forward.
That is it. And to be honest, all right, I'm a supporter of the Jamaica Labour Party, to make it clear, right? But right now, I willing enough to plead to my Prime Minister at this time. I am not for the Caribbean Court of Justice. No way, the CCJ, no way, shape or form. I don't trust it. But if we can come to a middle ground with them, meaning we say, okay, it has to be something tie in the constitution, it has to happen. We are all right then. If I saw then we're gonna move away from the Privy Council for the next 10 years, and for the next 10 years, any government come in has to continue the transformation and make sure that our court can stand up to be the final court of justice. But if not, if the opposition don't plan to come that way, then at least government, I would want the government come after with them.
But you know, sir, what the government wants Jamaica to have its final court right here in Jamaica.
Yes, I know that.
By the way, there's a personal matter that I have, and I don't want to talk about it. But you see, there's the Court of Appeal in Jamaica made a ruling.
Yes.
Made a ruling on behalf of a company that I work for.
Yes.
It's been more than 3 months, and I'm putting it out here.
Yes.
Because my listeners, you may see me on the news this week protesting, because the Court of Appeal made a ruling. An agency of government, and today, despite
the ruling
communications from us to them, they have failed to honor the Court of Appeal's ruling, and it is a disgrace.
Yes.
The rule of law, sir,
must prevail.
The rule of law, sir, and I'm calling upon. Well, you know what? Let me leave that matter at a point, because I'm going to speak about it, you know.
Yes.
And if I don't hear from them this week, sir, I am going to expose it.
No, you have to, you know, because after 3 months,
the Court of Appeal, sir, made a ruling. And if the Court of Appeal makes a ruling, then I don't see how an agency of government can be silent on it.
And that's one of the reasons why I'm kind of scared of the Caribbean court as well. That's what I'm
This is the
saying.
point I'm making. This is it, sir. This is it, sir. Because the opposition, you see, wants the Caribbean Court of Justice to be our final appellate court. The Jamaica Labour Party wants the final court to be in Jamaica.
Yes.
There are problems on both ends, you know, sir.
Yes.
But then there are also problems with the third option, which is the Privy Council.
Yeah, because there's a
Because
far
I and you can't access it, sir.
so easily. You have to have money.
Listen, my brother, let me tell you something. You see to have a case in the Court of Appeal in Jamaica.
Yeah.
Can run you $3 million, you know.
Yeah.
You hear me tell you something, sir?
No, we understand. Yes, you're right.
Imagine if you have to send lawyer to England.
Yes, that cost far more.
Justice is not actualized that virtue, you know, sir. And you know, if we are to create a society that is equitable and just, we must.
Yeah, me understand, and that is the reason why I say, all right, for now, what me gonna do as the Prime Minister is not like me about to the opposition, but for now, all right, I would bring it closer, for at least the next 10 years, but it have to written in law where every year a section of the budget have to go in a specific place to build out our justice system that it works. And then by 10 years time, I'm just giving that time, by 10 years time we'll move over to our own Court of Appeal. But we have to invest the same money where we are investing at the CCJ and all of these things. We can invest that money in our own court and make sure our court is very effective. And then we move to our court instead of we are pushing money in other Caribbean. Trinidad, the Court of Appeal is in Trinidad, but yet still Trinidad is not a part of it. So while we know it's a problem. That is it, what I'm saying. So if this is what we're going to move from the monarch to meet them halfway just for come out of this monarch thing, I would have backed it. But CTJ is not something me wrong, honestly.
I want to speak with someone at the Ministry of Education. Desperately want to speak with the minister. As a matter of fact, I may have to travel up there this week. Senator Morris Dixon, Rhoda Moy Crawford. I need a representative from the Ministry of Education. And there's a very serious matter that needs to be addressed. Very, very serious. And I don't want to make it public. So I'm asking for someone from to talk to me. Because we need justice. Justice must not only be done, it must manifestly and undoubtedly be seen to be done.
Yes.
And if the Court of Appeal lays down a ruling, I don't see how a state agency can be silent on it. That's ridiculous. We're not dropping a socks in here. Anyway, sir, thank you so much. Thank you.
Bless you.
USA?
Yes, neighbor. How are you, man?
Barry Mighton, if you're listening, I want to talk to you. Barry Mighton, if you're listening, I want to talk to you. I want to talk to someone from G2K. G2K, if you're listening, I need to talk to you. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, neighbor.
How you doing, man?
I'm kind of a little bit down a little bit because you know all what's going on with the Prime Minister and the other guy.
Yes.
You know, and how I look at it, look. You said some Jamaican people, they are hypocrite. That's truth. They are. They doesn't want to come out and just put it on the table and just spill it out just the way it is. The reason why this guy doesn't want...
What I'm asking USA is, why is there question still existing in Jamaica as to the veracity of the birthplace and nationality of the leader of opposition? Why?
Neighbor.
Is this not a question that should be put to bed, rest.
There is something there what that guy hiding. This guy hiding something, and the Jamaican people supposed to demand what's going on with this guy, because all these time he have enough time to put everything on the table, and he still doesn't want to put it on the table. This guy lying at all time. That's the reason why the great honorable Prime Minister called him a liar on a debate stage.
Well, then, you know, sir, I am saying to you that statement by the Prime Minister requires some looking into. Why would he do that?
Because he knows something what we, the public, doesn't know. He know. The honorable Prime Minister know what's going on.
Well, he should share it.
And the honorable Prime Minister have all right not to speak with this man.
You think so?
Yes, I strongly believe that. I strongly believe in that. Don't talk to this guy.
In the interest of the country. Remember now, you know, we have to development, governance must take precedence over any personal feeling you have. And the Prime Minister needs the support of the opposition to move certain of his agenda forward. So they must engage. They don't have to be friends. You never work at a place yet, so where you and somebody not really talk too much, but you still have to lead meetings with them. You know what I'm saying?
No, neighbor, I really never worked for a person before, but I have a family member I doesn't really close with, but I have to deal with them.
Yeah, but you sir, this impasse, I think that the battle lines are drawn, and I don't see how Mr. Holness is going to meet with Mr. Golin first without Mr. Golin acquiescing to the request to meet with Delroy Chuck. Mr. Golin should meet with Delroy Chuck first, sir.
That guy is not the Prime Minister of the country. The Honorable Prime Minister, Michael Holness, he is the Prime Minister. And I don't think the Prime Minister should bow down to this guy at all. Not at all. And I have a question, neighbor. Isn't it the Prime Minister can call like a referendum and the matter, and you know, this guy have to involve in it, although he's the opposition.
Yes, when the parties agree, there are certain I'm not an expert on this, but there are certain changes that requires the people's involvement. So I think that when the parties have ironed out and decided on, because you see what happens, you know, is that if the parties are divided and you go to a referendum, it will be political. It will be like a political campaign. You remember in Britain, sir, when they had the leavers and those who want to remain? Yeah. And they went to a referendum and the party in power lost. That's how David Cameron resigned, you know, sir.
Right. When
So
they
you
have the
don't want
Brexit.
to go to a referendum on a matter of the constitution and it becomes political. Let's say the final court. Let me hear your view, for example. Which would you prefer? A court in Jamaica, final court, the CCJ, or the Privy Council? Which would you prefer?
Well, it's kind of hard, neighbor, on my point, because with the Privy Council, I don't really trust it because it's another man country. You know, they have the thing. Another thing again in Jamaica, we have to develop trust in our government to have the High Court in Jamaica. And because it's a lot of stuff goes on where the Jamaican people doesn't trust the Jamaican government when it comes to the law. So it's a big problem we have, what we have to look into and try to solve. We have to look this. I don't trust that. I don't trust that at all. I rather it be in Jamaica, but we have to have some kind of supervision over the High Court, because politics play a big role in our justice system in Jamaica. It does. And if we can cut out the politics from our justice system, I think we can move forward to have the High Court in Jamaica. But it's really hard, neighbor. It's hard because I think 3/4 of the country doesn't trust our justice system in Jamaica.
Well, I think trust in it is growing, but there are still some concerns. But what about the CCJ? Do you think we can make, because that's part of the Jamaica Labour Party? They don't want that. They want. Huh?
I don't like the CCJ now. The cut now. I rather it be in Jamaica, the highest court, just like in the United States here. We have the Supreme Court. I would like it with me. I would like it in Jamaica, the highest court for our land, and that's where it stopped in Jamaica. That's where I would like it.
Yeah. Well, that's the position of Jamaica, of the government, as far as I understand it. The PNP is not agreeing to that. So that's where there is some dissonance.
So where the other side want the highest court in the Privy Council in England or the CC?
No. They have never supported the Privy Council. Remember that Mr. Patterson was instrumental in setting up the CCJ.
Right.
Again, Court of Justice. I think that is in Trinidad.
Right. So that's where the other side of party. That's where they want it.
Yes, sir. That's where the PNP wants to have the final court.
So what happened to Jamaica? Why we can't have our highest court in Jamaica? Why?
Well, you just mentioned that there are problems in terms of you see, sir, we have to be careful, and I kind of don't want to say what really is in my mind, because I don't know who's listening here, but politics, sir, can become influential in many areas of our life,
All the time, neighbor, all the time. In this country where I live, this is my second country because I was born in Jamaica. And we see it, real politics in the Supreme Court we have here too. We saw it.
You can remember the president appoint the judges.
Yes. The people that should change, and let the people appoint judges. And judges only had terms. I'm talking about Jamaica, not here. Judges have terms. The people of the country vote for the judges, and we have our own high court. I think that's the best way to go. And if the judges,
hold on, Joseph. I think though, that once we move away from the monarch, I don't know that we will have access to the Privy Council,
But we don't need it anymore.
But I think our access to the Privy Council is as a result of our continued affiliation with the British monarchy. Because remember that final vote is in England.
Neighbor, I have another question. Real quick. Is it like Jamaican, like we Jamaicans, do we have to have a visa to go to England?
Oh yes.
I think isn't they abolished that? We don't need visa to go there.
Oh yes. As a matter of fact, I think it's easier. I think it's easier to get into the United States than into England.
So why we need the Privy Council? Why we need the Privy Council?
Because we're not yet we're still the king is still king of we're still associated with the monarchs. We're not truly independent, really.
So why we can't step away from that, neighbor? Why we can't step away from that?
That is what constitutional reform is about. That is what they're trying to do.
Isn't it Barbados move away from the
They did, yes.
So why we can't do the same thing? Why?
Well, that is what we set up a ministry of constitutional affairs. That ministry was headed by Marlene Malahou Ford. They had all these consultations around Jamaica, sir. Spend a whole heap of money. But here the minister saying that the opposition stood in the way, couldn't go forward.
So he's the opposition guy. He's the one who's stopping it.
That's what she's saying. And she's asking whether or not his affiliation with, in terms of his own, status, is
So
part
you
of
see,
it.
neighbor, you see that I'm right from day one. I come on your program and tell you about this guy. If that's the way it is,
That's what she's saying.
if that's true, this guy holding up progress for our country. We need to move forward, and this guy holding up progress. That guy is not for the Jamaican people. I say that I think the first time I come on your program. He's not for the Jamaican people. And a lot of Jamaicans, they are hypocrites.
Well,
We all can come out and speak it just like how in 1980 to 1989, they said Edward Seago didn't belong to Jamaica at all, and they bashed that guy so much and that thing. You understand me? And they bring in their side. They're hypocrites. They bring in their side with another guy who doesn't born in Jamaica, doesn't have nothing in Jamaica.
The people of Jamaica needs to be taken along, sir. As a matter of fact, I wonder how many people online here right now, sir, that understands the process of constitutional reform, what it is about, how it affects Jamaicans, and how Jamaica will benefit from becoming a republic and having our own head of state here. I do not know that the people of Jamaica are being brought along.
I think the Jamaica Labour Party, what they should do, they should come out and they keep call up the country. The Prime Minister should call up the country and do a state television broadcast and explain these things to the country. Because as what you just said, a lot of Jamaica, they doesn't know what it's all about. They doesn't know the good or the bad about it. The Prime Minister should call up the country and speak to the country about what's going on. And put it out there.
But sir, I think we are in a bit of a problem now, and the problem is that there's no trust between the leaders of the country, the two leaders. They don't trust each other. Well, clearly, Holness, not really in a nothing with Mark. Clearly.
Well, neighbor.
Clearly.
60% of the 55%.
You answer that, sir. You can't put a question. You can't put a question to the people, without educating them, sir. You have to educate the people about what they are voting for.
That's the reason why I said the Prime Minister should step out there and call up the country and explain what he's trying to do. And a lot of Jamaican that we who was on the fence, that we come over when he explained it and how the opposition holding up progress. I think the Prime Minister should do that, neighbor. I think he should do that. Once he want to move forward, I think he should go to the Jamaican people and talk with them, explain things to them that they have to understand.
The people of Jamaica don't understand, sir. They don't understand.
So neighbor, how are they gonna understand if you doesn't educate them?
You have to put it in. You see this September, sir. It should have been in the school curriculum. The teachers should be teaching it to the students what constitutional reform means and it's about.
Well, I think they have a minister of education.
It was not even raised in the last election. It wasn't even raised. Okay. What we were talking about is IC report and who are going to jail and all them foolishness.
Neighbor, Jamaica in big trouble. Jamaica is in big trouble. Yes. And I pray God every day to help our little island, man. You know what I mean? Because we're moving forward, but slowly but surely, because we have a lot of people standing in the way. And those people need to get out of the way. They need to get out. And another thing, neighbor, the prime minister won 35 seats. The prime minister have to keep meeting with his MPs and let them know the election, this election we won, it didn't won by the member of parliament then. It won by one only person, is the prime minister. Because a lot of the member of parliament, they're not doing their job. They're not doing their job because I hear about it even in the constituency where I'm from. That guy is not doing a good job there. But because of the constituency, the people there just a Jamaica Labour Party supporter, they support the prime minister. They didn't support the MP. They don't. But because of the prime minister, they support the MP. It's not the other way around. They have to get out their work. They have to get out their work. And that 35 seat they have, the Jamaica Labour Party MPs, that they have to get out there and start work from today. From a matter of fact, they should start from their swearing in. Don't take it for granted. Don't take it for granted. Because, neighbor, if the next term gonna come is the fourth term, and if the great prime minister want to run again, we don't know if he's gonna continue, but if he want to go for the 4-star general, they have to put out some real work and continue on all the projects. That's what they have before the election. Continue all of those projects. And they have to work.
Yeah. Take the people along, sir. Take the people along, and you'll get their support. I have to thank you for today.
Respect.
Respect to you too. All right. This, we'll go with you until 1 o'clock. Tap the screen, share the live. Tap the screen. Tap in. Very, very important to a program like this. We're going to be doing some new things for you. As a matter of fact, listen to this. We're having a poll. We're doing a poll. We are doing a poll, the Politics Plus poll. We want to ask some questions about the recent elections, but we need sponsors. Can you sponsor the poll, please? Can you sponsor the poll? If you can, 876-858-9553. We want to send a researcher to ask some questions. Bring the results to you.
Come, just finish up the spoon. Nana.
876-858-9553.
One like say you're big, you know.
Morning. Okay. All right. So that person doesn't know that they are online. Top Boss and Courtney Butler, I'm bringing you up if you want to have a conversation with us. Need sponsors for the Politics Plus poll. Okay? 876-858-9553. You don't have to sponsor all of it, but you can put some. Top Boss, good afternoon. Good afternoon. Courtney, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, neighbor.
Where are you calling from?
Clarendon, Mitchelltown.
You're in Mitchellstown. Is it raining there in Mitchellstown?
No, hot sun.
Hot
Very
sun?
hot. Yeah.
Oh, it's overcast in Kingston, sir. You do farming in Clarendon?
We do farming, but I don't do farming here, just like backyard gardening.
Uh-huh.
I work home.
Okay. Okay, what's happening? What's happening?
Well, everything good so far, but neighbor, it's just that big up your program, and it's the best program on the YouTube channel.
Well, is it?
Yeah, man.
Well, I tell you something, sir. We're not live on YouTube yet. We have a partner with a brother that carries the program for us. And by the way, brother, I can't hear from you. What go on?
Oh.
Yeah. But
Barry, I like to hear Barry and Casey. Those are the man at the moment.
And Scratchy. And Scratchy.
And Scratchy.
Yeah, scratch up.
Yeah, man.
I tell you this, those Courtney. We have big plans for this network. You know, it's a Politics Plus network. As a matter of fact, we are engaged in a poll stuff. Small poll, not as big as the others, but we have some questions we want to ask. So we're looking sponsors for it, okay? So 878-858-9553. 876-858-9553. Text that number and tell us that you want to sponsor the program or you want to sponsor the poll. We'll be more than happy for you to do that for you. And if you have a small business, we'll help.
Yeah, man. No, don't worry yourself, neighbor, because we love this program. From this program put out, I don't get a ease. The only time I get a ease is when you are not or when I'm out.
So what are you saying to me?
Yeah, man. One of the best, man.
Well, I thank you for that, sir.
Yes, sir. You're welcome. And I'm taking this program
to tap the screen at this time and share the live. And there's a live goal on your screen. Help us to achieve that.
Okay, my boss. And have a productive day and big up yourself. We're always here.
That's all you come on to say, sir?
We don't have nothing much to say right now because me and the workbench doing some work. So, you know, you have to pay attention to the tool, eh?
What type of work you do?
Woodwork, furniture.
Oh, you're a woodman?
Yeah, man. Board man.
Oh gosh, I can't believe me high. Boy, I tell you something. This is all very exciting.
He's not a woodman, he's a board man. All right, sir. All right, sir. Take care of yourself.
All right, neighbor, big up yourself. I keep listening I'll take your information. Don't worry yourself. We will be on your watch.
Yes, sir. All right.
All right, my boss. Big up yourself. One love soup.
Is your girlfriend there with you? Is your girlfriend there?
No, sir.
When your girlfriend there?
Gonna work.
Okay. I hope she was listening when you say you're not a woodman, you're a board man.
Yeah, man. I'm not, man. I'm a board man, not a woodman.
Oh.
And you know, we want to big up to neighbor power, man. We like taking power, man, you know.
Very good, sir. A little bit
yes, sir.
In the afternoon for you at 15 minutes to 1 o'clock. Take care.
All right, my boss. Big up.
Goodness gracious, board man in Clarendon. All right, Courtney.
Yeah, man. All right, boss. Big up yourself. One love.
How you doing, top boss?
Yes, neighbor. Good day.
Hey, what one?
I'm there upon the work, same way. Like my friend. See, I work me do like my friend, you know, but
woodwork.
No, board work.
What's happening to my Jamaican brothers at all?
No,
they don't want to talk about wood.
Why you can't tell about woodwork again, you sir?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, you can't tell about woodwork again. I'm telling them board work.
I tell you.
I listen to the program, I enjoy the program, you know?
Yes, sir.
Yes, man.
Uh-huh.
I want to say something.